Microsoft reported earnings right after the market closed, and we did have revenue beating analyst estimates, the bottom line beating analyst estimates as well. But the stock is falling in after hours trading. Let's get more insight now from Anurag Rana. He is Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Technology Analyst. In terms of the numbers, it looks like Microsoft delivered, but perhaps not by as wide margins as maybe investors had expected, given the movement in the stock up 8.3% so far this year.
Yeah, I would say broadly their results met expectations to slightly exceeding them. But the big factor with Microsoft, as it is in almost every quarter that we follow, is what's going to be the guidance for next quarter. I think that's really the most important part right now, because what we are seeing after 2 quarters of stabilization in cloud results, now the question is, do they pick up or not in the second half or the second fiscal half for Microsoft?
What actually causes that pickup, Anurag? I mean, what do they hang their hat on?
Yeah, there are 2 factors. One of them is companies or corporations who have been cutting back on cloud spending for the last 1.5 to 2 years. They come back and increase their cloud consumption. The second big key factor is increased contribution from AI workloads. So if you're going to use more ChatGPT, Azure makes more money on the back end.
So this gets us to a broader question here about the strategy around AI, the integration into the back office, integration obviously into some of those forward-facing products like the whatever that new Office suite is going to look like here when they release it here. Well, where do you see the most potential for them to monetize this?
Yeah, remain for the next 12 to 18 months, the biggest contribution is going to come in Azure, Microsoft Azure, or their cloud infrastructure product. That's the back end of ChatGPT and other workloads. After that, we expect to see more contribution from these Copilot products that you're talking about, because they just came out. There is a big base. It's going to take some time for them to contribute. But we are very optimistic that in the long run, Microsoft is probably better positioned than any other software company out there to capitalize on this increasing demand for Gen AI workloads.
What would Microsoft have to say in the earnings call later on that would restore investors' faith that it deserves the valuation it has right now?
Yeah, so Azure growth came in at about 28% in constant currency. Microsoft guidance needs to be 28 and above for them to basically either recover or even stay slightly negative, because as you said, over the last several months, Microsoft stock has done fairly well, so expectations are high, and I mean all of that hinges on that Azure guidance at this point.